Katie and Dan and Sam in a car. This week we are headed to Quebec City for a little bit of a remote working trip and to brush up on our French. Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? Is that right? Or is that really like awkward the way I said it? Like I said, we're not in the van this week. Instead, we're headed to Quebec City in our little car with my cousin Sam in tow to experience the culture, practice our French, and generally have a bit of a fun, local-ish getaway. In truth, Dan and I hadn't really been thinking about going to Quebec again this summer because we were actually just in Montreal last September. But then when Sam told us...
So, I was thinking about going to Quebec this summer.
Oh, we should go with you.
Yeah.
And so we're here in Quebec with Sam. Shall we get on Z? Speaking of Sam, I should introduce you to this travel-sized wonder. Sam is my cousin and bestie. She loves classic Disney and Greta Van Fleet.
Sam's looking for a husband.
Specifically, if you're out there and your name is Josh and you play in a band called Greta Van Fleet.
Jake, I don't want Josh.
Oh, sorry, Jake. Oh, and she's a French teacher.
Me?
Which is part of why she wanted to go to Quebec, to get to practice her French with people who aren't just her grade 4, 5, and 6 students. I always said that this was going to be a French immersion trip, and I guess we better start now. So, Sam, say something.
Bonjour, bienvenue à notre journée vers la ville de Québec.
Allons-y! Here we are, 6 hours on the road, about 3.5 left. Bad traffic in Toronto, but hey, that's part of the adventure. I'm ready to hit the road. Okay, well, we're here. The driveway's a little tight.
Pee so bad, Sam, so do it quick.
I'm trying, Katie.
Like something's happening.
I know, but it's not. Nothing's happening.
I remember reading in the reviews that they said it was hard to open.
What if I try pulling?
I have to pee too. This is bad.
We made it inside.
We did it.
We actually did get the door open, and now we just have to put away all of this stuff. It's been a full day of driving, and we are very hungry for supper. We got in, we unpacked, and now Sam and I are gonna go get something to eat. Dan is gonna go to sleep. Good morning and welcome to Quebec City. For those of you who aren't familiar, here's a little bit of history of Quebec.
Behind me here is the Citadel in Quebec City, a big military fortification. In case you didn't know, Quebec City is really old. I believe it's the oldest city in Canada. The French were around here in the 1500s and set up this city in around 1608, so it's over 400 years old. There's a really rich history here, conflicts between the French. It was originally a French city, then the British in the 1700s took control. It's gone back and forth. Many wars have been fought. Further down to the west are the Plains of Abraham, which is a historic battle.
Une bataille très fameuse, very famous battle entre les Anglais et les Français. Et les Anglais ont gagné. That was more or less the end of the French having control in this region as far as like the control from the European French. Mm-hmm. The language stayed, but the governing powers shifted to
the Queen. So that's a bit about Quebec, but today on our first day here, we're headed to Ile d'Orléans, which is a really quaint and rural island right next to Quebec City in the St. Lawrence River.
We're here on Ile d'Orléans to rent bikes and bike around, but before we get the bikes, we're appreciating the view. Look at that.
If you feel you're going too fast, use the brakes, it's going to disengage and you can...
Who's ready to bike?
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Oh, sorry, you're asking on the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah!
We've just set out on our voyage. It's not the best bike lanes. Like, there's kind of no bike lane.
Our first stop is this fruit farm to get maybe some strawberries, maybe some blueberries. So we're taking a e-bike tour of the whole island, Ile d'Orléans, and there's all kinds of cute stops along the way. And this is a little fruit farm, and it's very cute. The island is just so picturesque, like the sort of rolling farmland and obviously the water in the background, and yeah, it's just beautiful here.
To be honest, that's even better than I expected.
Okay, I gotta try it.
It is like liquid.
Oh, it's really sweet. It does taste like strawberry jam. I think we've gathered that this at once was a church. But anyway, our guide told us to come here because of the beautiful gardens. Freaking good. The ice cream is just good on its own too. That was the most opulent chocolate dipped ice cream I've ever had. So we've run into a little bit of rain on our bike tour of l'Ile d'Orléans. That's okay, I'm a little muddy, a little wet. Now the sun's back up, so we keep going.
Everywhere we go, it's an absolute photo shoot. Hey, who am I to judge? I'm walking around filming stuff too. Honestly, the views of this whole bike tour have been beautiful. I've definitely enjoyed the views. I feel like this really sets the scene for the rest of our time in Quebec City. That?
Time to go.
Uh-oh.
The time is now.
What time were the bikes due?
2 minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
Now the sun's back out, but we are absolutely on the clock to get our bikes back here. I don't know. People seem pretty friendly here. I don't think they'll care. I've got sweat in my eyes, but we did make it. We did make it.
It is really hot out today.
I had an absolutely lovely time, so I would recommend it. Well, we got some exercise and we are back to four wheels.
We spent our morning working from the Airbnb, and now we're off to explore the old city. Ville Quebec, right Sam?
Oui.
I think we're all feeling kind of nostalgic for our grade 7/grade 8 Quebec trips that we all went on in elementary school. If you're from Ontario, then you will relate to that.
We have arrived at absolute tourist central. But hey, we're here to see the sights just like everybody else. That's just some kind of rite of passage for all Canadian public school.
Well, Ontario.
Yeah. Grade 7, grade 8. Everybody just does a trip to Quebec. I didn't
Yeah.
realize how universal that is.
Yeah, literally. I feel like it's kind of funny being back here taking all these photos because I don't know about you, but when I came on the Quebec trip, it was one of the first times that I had my own digital camera.
I had a pink Kodak.
I also
digital
had
camera.
a pink Kodak
I think
digital
it had about
camera.
4 megapixels. on
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And I
And that
felt
was a
like,
lot at the
yeah,
time.
I literally felt like I was so cool because I had a digital camera. Because some of the kids on my trip brought disposable film cameras, and now
Yeah.
here we are with film cameras again. And now we think we're really cool because we're doing that. Qu'est-ce que l'histoire du Québec?
Actually, you would say quelle est la histoire.
Quelle est la histoire du Québec?
Alors, la ville de Québec a été fondée par Samuel de Champlain en 1608, ici, près de la fleuve Saint-Laurent. You get hate comments because of my French quality. I'm gonna be sad.
I don't think we really get hate comments here on Katie and Dan in a van.
Okay, good.
The tour guide guy on the island yesterday said that this coffee shop put Starbucks out of business in Quebec, so in Quebec City.
Just drank that in the most awkward way possible.
I would say the coffee from Maison Smith, good. Sam thinks the croissants, les croissants,
Au chocolat, les pains au chocolat.
oh, oui, not so bon. Too bad. So the old city in Quebec City is built up on these old ramparts, these old fortifications. And so there is an upper city and a lower city. And right now we are walking into the lower city.
J'ai envie de vivre libre, délivré de ces illusions. Ce que toi et moi devions. La vie est un bon voyageur. J'ai envie de vivre libre, délivré.
Place Royale, where we are right now, an absolutely iconic part of the grade 7/8 Quebec trip. One of the few things I remember from the Quebec trip was they were saying that one of these buildings used to be like a firefighter's depot, and they had horses, and there's spiral staircases because horses can't go up spiral stairs.
staircases.
I don't even know if
that
that's
fact
true. I
too.
mean, I guess it is probably
I'm
a true
pretty
fact.
certain that horses couldn't do a spiral staircase.
I
Sam
don't
owns a
know.
horse. Let's go ask her. I have an important question to ask you.
Okay.
Do you think that horses could go up spiral staircases?
Yes.
Really, you actually think this just in? Sam, a horse owner, thinks that horses could go up a spiral staircase. How would they do that?
if
With
it's
some ropes and a pulley.
Oh, but like they couldn't walk up them.
No, you dumb.
This is my follow-up question. Do you remember, because this just came back to me and Dan was just saying it, do you remember them talking about there being a fire station here when you were here on your Quebec trip?
I do not.
Because
But I believe you.
Dan alleges that one of these buildings, and this kind of, I thought of this too, used to be like the old fire hall. And then he was saying that they gave a fact that the reason why the fire hall had spiral staircases is because horses couldn't go up spiral staircases.
Interesting. So the horses couldn't go where the people were, that's the idea.
They'd
I
get
guess so.
stuck. No. Let me explain. The problem is, as was explained to me, and this made 100% sense to my brain back then. The problem is, horses can go up regular
that's a
stairs.
cow.
Nope, this is what I was told. A horse can go up regular stairs, but it can't go down. They're too afraid to go back down regular stairs.
I think you're confusing things. Cows can climb stairs, but their joints literally will not let them go downstairs.
Look,
I don't know about the spiral thing factors in, but
we're really good with Instagram, but not so good with the facts around here.
This evening we are in Wendat, Quebec, which is just like a 20-minute drive from Quebec City, here at the Huron-Wendat Museum.
so where we are is a museum, but also there is a hotel and restaurant, and then there's like a traditional longhouse kind of behind us, but unfortunately because of the opening hours we didn't get to see the museum or the longhouse, but I believe it's just that way.
And all of this is on the traditional territory and reservation of the Wendat First Nation. So very cool. And this business is 100% like Indigenous owned. It's owned by the Wendat people. So we had a very interesting dinner in the kind of like fancy like high-end restaurant here. That's like the traditional like foods and stuff. But we got to see.
The dessert was definitely the highlight.
Yes.
The flaming peaches. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the other food was good too. I had a cauliflower steak. Dan had a Three Sisters soup. And what did you have, Sam?
I had a poached cod on a bed of like local vegetables and mushrooms, kind of seasonal. Everything we had was very like seasonal, because that's the menu that they offer is a seasonal menu.
But yeah, it was a super cool experience. And now, as you can see, it's getting dark out. We're here for the light walk.
We thank them all.
Well, we just finished a very cool but very wet light walk. Like it was seriously pouring at one point, but still well worth it. Very cool. It was really cool. Time to go home and dry off. Last time we got these Velo bikes out, we made the mistake of trying to bike up to the upper city. This time we're going to the elevator because we found out we can take the bikes on the elevator. We're in here though, and our bikes getting out. This is so much better than the hill though, guys.
Oh yeah.
So much better than trying to bike up that hill. There is the lower city, where we just came from. And here's this big hill that we need to do. Once you get going a little bit on these e-bikes, a hill like this isn't bad, but it's way better since we skipped a lot of it in the elevator. Once again, we've had a productive morning working at the Airbnb, and now we're off to adventure again. What's our goal for this afternoon, Dan?
Well, I think we're gonna walk on this pedestrian street a little bit and then go see the wall, some of the gates in the wall.
Sounds good.
Eventually we might end up at the art museum. Apparently this is the oldest grocery store in North America. That's what Sam said anyway.
She almost knocked me over. She was so excited about it. I almost fell into the street. So we gotta go in and take a
Doesn't
look.
get more exciting than this, folks.
J'ai lu ce matin que cette épicerie est le plus vieux dans l'Amérique du Nord. 1800 something or other.
So pretty much exactly
Only
what I
Middle
said.
East. That's
I think so.
I got got like a blueberry Danish pastry.
You gotta try it and see what you think.
Okay, you wanna see? Oh, that's really good. I ordered it all by myself. I didn't even get Sam to do it for me.
Yeah, en français. Good job.
Bon travail.
Sam, our French teacher, has just been encouraging us to try. And I'm nervous, but you know what? Last night at dinner, I didn't even mention this, but when we were at the very fancy restaurant, I did order in French, so I feel good about that. I think my next hurdle to conquer is going to be ordering my iced latte in French. Practicing in my head, but I'll probably still check it out when the time comes. We've arrived at the walls to the old city, and this is just one of the entrances, one of the like arches that we're gonna check out this afternoon.
En français, s'il vous plaît.
Okay, I'll try. Just for the record, I did just order in French, right, Sam?
Oui.
And she understood what I said.
And she didn't even try to switch to.
That's right.
Another gate. This one's the smallest gate.
We made it to our third and final gate of the day, so we've seen all of the gates to the old city, right?
Yeah, that's right. Time for dinner.
On a terrace.
Update, we moved tables because it's going to rain.
Look, really, we're smart. I'm the one that checked the radar, so I'm taking full credit.
We
Dan is smart, basically, is what he's saying. He's the smart one.
didn't want a repeat of last night, so we thought let's get undercover before the rain comes this time.
Moving was definitely the right decision. It is raining absolute cats and dogs. People on the street are scrambling, the waiters are running.
And we're just getting a little damp.
Glad I finished my food already.
So much for like a relaxing time.
Good thing I went for
outside.
the waterproof today.
Yeah. The rain has kind of let up and now there's some sun coming through, which is beautiful. And we've come to the art museum for the cheap Wednesday evening rate for under 30. So,
Because we are under 30 and we are cheap.
this is like the size of our bedroom at home. It's a big elevator. I've never been in such a big elevator.
We've reached the Inuit art exhibit. And I'm pretty sure we're the only people still in the museum, or at least on this floor of the museum.
It's our last day in Quebec, and I guess it's only like 10 a.m., but we're just kind of packing up. I did a little bit of work this morning. Sam went on a little adventure and got us this delicious looking breakfast. Sam, expliquez en français what you
Alors,
got.
j'ai choisi un pain au chocolat, comme
Oui.
un croissant mais avec du chocolat. Et aussi une danoise aux fruits avec les fraises et les framboises et les bleuets. Et le, qu'est-ce que c'est? Pâtissière anglaise ou quoi, something like that. Et aussi la pièce de la résistance. This is not for breakfast, this is for later. Une éclair aux fraises avec les fraises du Québec.
Ooh, local.
Québécois, oui.
Wow.
Et aussi le pain au fromage pour le déjeuner.
Yum, yum, yum. And she brought me a nice coffee. Quebec, you treated us well. This was a quick and pretty spontaneous trip, but it was super memorable. I actually felt really encouraged by my little foray into the French language. I think it's so valuable to try to learn a bit of the language of the place that you're traveling to, and it can really open you up to the culture and just the full experience of the place. And specifically for Canadians, I think so many of us Anglophones think that the people of Quebec won't give you the time of day if you try to speak French, but I found that was not the case, and trust me, my French is nothing special. I think people appreciate it when you try to step out of your comfort zone and learn a bit more about them and their language, especially when it isn't the dominant language in the culture at large. So even though it's scary, it's good to try.
So hopefully in this little vlog, we've been able to inspire you to get out of your comfort zone and explore a new place and a new language. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.